Today's item on the list is to fix the torsion spring on my custom pedal box. This is my custom pedal box. It's been highly modified for dual master cylinders and everything's been painted. It's ready to go back for assembly. I've had it together 100 times, seems like. All the bushings and everything fit really well. The issue though I'm having is this torsion spring is interfering with this tube. So the stock tube was this one, and when the spring goes on, it fits nice and loose, okay? On this tube, this was a piece that's left over, it fits, but it just barely fits on. In fact, it's stuck on that side. It just barely fits. So what happens when you have this in position like so, when you actuate the brake pedal, the coils bind on the cylinder and it prevents the brake from actually going back all the way full travel. So it needs to have a little bit of clearance here before the spring will actually work correctly. This is the stock spring. So plan A is to sort of reform this spring. This one's an old one. This is a low likelihood of actually working. It's really difficult to bend these things. I'm going to be heating it up, bending it, and then trying to get the tension right back where it was to begin with, but have a bigger sort of diameter. So this is going to be a little tough. Well, I don't know about that. Yeah, I didn't get the spring hot enough, number one, but I did try to quench it in the oil, and I don't know if it's going to retain its yield strength or not, but we're going to hope for the best. Let that cool down slowly, and hopefully it'll fit on the pedal, and we'll just give it a try. I took one wound off the coil, and then I'm gonna have to trim the spring a little bit too. So the shape of the spring is definitely slanted and it's not perfect. I mean, it unwound mostly on this end, but let's see if we can at least get it on. The brake pedal returns just fine. It's not going to be coming this far back. It's probably going to be going, you know, somewhere in this range. So there's a good amount of tension, and it's bringing the pedal back, which is, it just takes a little bit of pressure off the master cylinders, and that's all you need to do. So I'm gonna go for it, and the pedal's never gonna go this far, but even if it doesn't distort the spring. Now you might be thinking like, oh, you shouldn't do this to the brakes. I mean, this is a critical component. And I mean, I do agree the brakes are important. However, if this spring breaks, the worst that can happen is, well, A, I'll feel it because it's connected right to the pedal. So you're gonna either hear it or feel it. You'll know if it breaks. And then the pedal isn't gonna return as much, which means the brakes might drag. And if the brakes drag a little bit, that's better than no brakes at all. So even though these are the brakes and this is a little bit, you know, not really to standard, I think it's not going to be a catastrophe if the spring does break. The other thing I see a lot of times with these pedal boxes is people will plate the spring with zinc plate, and you know, it looks great. However, you have to be really careful when you plate high strength steels, because there's something called hydrogen embrittlement. The process of electroplating creates hydrogen, and it actually gets into the metal and can make it brittle. So the spring might break if I plate it. If I leave it alone, it might be fine. There are ways to relieve the hydrogen in plating. You got to do this whole bake cycle. I don't know that most people are doing that, to be honest. Here it is assembled. The only real sort of unpleasant thing is this last coil is a little bit too big in diameter. So if you look at it from the side, you can see it's just, I can almost stick my finger in there. That wasn't really anticipated. It's just hard to unwind the springs and determine which one unwinds. I had to rebend the end on this, which is why this one got a little bit more distorted. A little Loctite on this brake switch. This brake switch is the stock brake switch, a little hard to get to now that I relocated it for the dual master cylinders, but I think it'll still work. Okay, I remember having a small washer on here just to give a little bit more clearance to the side here, but this still fits. And then there's, this roll pin can be difficult. Let's hope it goes in. This thing does have a little bit of a taper to it, and I think I can just hammer it in. Probably shouldn't use that hammer. All right, that's in for good. I did a couple little tricks on that. I mean, this is difficult to get in. I'm not going to say it's not. The trick was to, squeeze. It's a roll pin, so it's split. So I squeezed it down a little bit using the vice grips, and then I just hammered on it, trying not to scratch everything. I think I did okay. This paint is pretty tough because it has hardener in it. But yeah, just a couple tools. This is good on the backside. So to get the holes lined up and you're fighting with the spring, it's good to use a tapered pin on the backside. So it gets those holes lined up. So when you're hammering, through both holes, the bores are lined up. I had a little misalignment there for a second. And then it's just using a couple different, drifts or, tools to just hammer on it flat so you don't bend it or mushroom it too much. The master cylinders will go right to these guys here. This brake pedal was designed to go on either side of the lever, so I can adjust the brake pedal position. And then of course, this position in and out can be adjusted with the push rods. This is a threaded shaft into this turnbuckle, so I can adjust this distance and I can adjust left to right. So that was by design. I'm not going to install the master cylinders yet because I want to do a bench bleed on those to make sure all the bubbles are out of it. It's the first thing off the list. Fix torsion spring. Done. One down, 38 to go.
Garage time.